All right, Sean Lang here live with the Fightlete Report remote podcast at Mullen's UFC 239. And join me, of course, to my left is Charles Ritchie. Charles, again, appreciate you hosting me from on deck on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. And of course, Chicagoland Sports Radio. That's a fellow broadcaster from the station. So, hey, Charles, I'm glad that we have you on board. I know you're going to discuss. Tell people about your show. I know you're just discussing Pittsburgh Steelers, football, all kinds of sports. So tell us about your interest in tonight's card, UFC 239.
Well, I tell you what, the biggest interest tonight, you're going to be seeing, at the main card, for one thing, it's definitely going to be one of the main events, but another thing you could also throw in there, too, before we get into that, you also got the Nightmare Diego Sanchez right now. He's got a couple of fights remaining on that six-figure contract he won from the very first Ultimate Fighter, by the way. And speaking of Ultimate Fighter real quick, let me just make a brief shout-out. Let me make a quick brief shout-out to the Hall of Famers who are, all three of them were Ultimate Fighter winners.
Yes.
With Diego the Nightmare Sanchez, I just mentioned, he went there along with Clay the Carpenter Guida on the fighter wing for their fight over 10 years ago, back in June. That was determined the number one contendership for BJ Penn's lightweight championship. So we're trying to determine the number one contendership. Diego Sanchez won that one by split decision. They also have Sugar Rashawn Evans, too, who actually followed up about 5 months later after Forrest Griffin was the very first Ultimate Fighter tournament winner to win the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship, who took that from Rampage Jackson. He beat him at the end of the year for the Light Heavyweight Championship, which is another packed card UFC fans to pay attention to their December card as well towards the end of the year to close out their years. And last but not least, Sean, I don't know about you, but I think we can both agree that Michael the Count Bisping, no respect to the other guys, but that guy had so much international star power.
Yes.
Put it this way, kind of like Dave Boy Smith, a.k.a. the late British Bulldog, as like how he was in WWF.
Yes.
He was in London, like Bret Hart was Canada.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Michael Bisping was to the UFC, more internationally marketable. And boy, he brought leads fans.
Yeah. And then listen, Michael Bisping, all-time great, and you got to respect him what he did, winning the middleweight title, even when people said it couldn't be done against Bronco. And, some of the fights are controversial. This one, Anderson, some of them either way. The second one, Dan Henderson, I felt like he went flat out. Watching the second time, he definitely did enough to win that fight. It's just some of the controversial mar his career, especially when we go back and look at the fight with Mike Hamill. So I want to make this point. So recently, Dana White said he wants to reverse the victory from John Jones, the victory Matt Hamill has over John Jones. Well, to tell you something, Charles, if you do that, then you have to take away the victory that Michael Bisping has over Matt Hamill. Because that would only be right, because we knew that Matt Hamill won that fight in London. We're talking about
you know what, and I think that's been part of the controversy with Michael Bisping. He's still one of the great all-time fighters in UFC history. He's had those, like whether he was fighting in his hometown London, you may say he stole a couple of fights from fighters, but at the end of the day, too, aside from the fact that a guy like Michael the Count Bisping, let's just forget about he's third all-time in wins in the UFC history. That's one thing. But number two, let's just forget about those controversial wins. He's also knocked out a lot of guys where he ranks 6th all-time in wins.
Yeah.
In knockouts, I should say.
Knockouts, and he has the most victories in UFC besides Al Cerrone.
Right. So, you think about that stuff. He's ahead of all the guys that won the Ultimate Fighter as far as UFC wins, knockouts. The only other guy that probably comes close as far as like in the wins category, Diego the Nightmare Sanchez. I got a little question tonight when he's going up against his opponent and Michael Chiesa. Who's to say right now, fans? I'd like to hear from you guys as I'm co-hosting with Sean. Feel free to send us your thoughts and check out at the Fightlete Report. Do you guys feel like that Diego the Nightmare Sanchez is his career coming down to a halting close, or does he still got much left? As you alluded to earlier, he's got a 2-fight win streak.
I feel that we'll see what happens. Diego Sanchez has a 2-fight win streak, like you mentioned. And listen, he's looked better than he ever has in his career so far. Some fighters, they get a late career rejuvenation. Listen, they come out and they're better than before. We've seen that happen with Dan Henderson. We've seen that happen with Peter Belfort. It's possible. And I'm not sure if, Diego Sanchez is going to get a shot at the title. I'm not sure he's going to get a welterweight title shot because this division is so stacked at 170 pounds. So, you know, at this point, what is he fighting for? He's fighting for his legacy. He's fighting for his legacy. He's fighting for basically, you know, just to go out there and deliver the graceful fights that he's done in the past and to live up to his legacy. That's what it's all about. And he takes out Michael Chiesa, who's unstoppable at 170. Seemingly looks like that against Carlos Condit.
I hear what you're saying right there, and sure, you're probably fighting for legacy, and you're also fighting for a little bit of pride. But let's not forget, too, Michael the Count Bisping was also the same age in Diego's boat right there, where guess what? When he won his first ever title, how old was he? 37 years old.
Right.
Diego Sanchez, he's 37 years old.
Yes.
So, who's to say now? Momentum. And let's see what it goes as far as like the pound for pound rankings. Does he need at least one or two more fights to get in there? So that's one part. I may disagree with you only because of the age, but as we all know, Dana White back in the day too. Look at like a guy like Brock Lesnar, what he did to a heavyweight back a long time, in 2008. He had dominating performance. I think it was a Texas Crates horse, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay, well, it was August 2008, the pay-per-view that George St. Pierre defended his welterweight title. This was 2008. And what I'm trying to say is this. If you beat someone in dominating fashion, the way you beat them, or if you knock them out or submit them, that may open eyes for Dana White to say, you know what? He stood out there. We can give him a break, come a slack. And let's see, reward this guy, see if he go after the title. If he does, I want to say this be his second time overall in his career, if I'm not mistaken, going for the belt. I remember he lost to BJ Penn about 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, Diego Sanchez, listen, the nightmare, you know, he's an amazing fighter. And like I said, some people think their legacy will last long. It's not always about winning the belt. It'd be amazing to see Diego Sanchez go up to win the 170-pound title. But I don't think it's going to happen. This division is probably the most stacked division besides 155-pound UFC right now. Right. So moving forward, man, I am going to go with my prediction. Michael Chiesa by submission, late second, early third round. Chiesa, again, looked unstoppable against Carlos Condit. And I think he's a natural 170er. He used to be fighting at 155. And before that, you know, before he got stopped by Kevin Lee, before he got stopped by Anthony Pettis, you know, he said to himself, like, I wasn't myself. I wasn't doing well with this weight cut. I was injured. I went into this fight injured with Anthony Pettis. So to me, Michael Chiesa, this is going to be the best Michael Chiesa we've seen yet. And 170 pounds. If he gets past Sanchez, makes it convincing, listen, he'll be climbing up the top five, looking to climb the rankings and become a contender for this title. And he's at the right age to do so. And I just think it's his time. And it's his night, and I got him. How about you?
You may want to look at it, say maybe like an age factor, 31 years old versus 37. But I'm going to go with Diego Sanchez for this reason.
Okay.
And one of the things he alluded to, even Holly Holm, there's a little bit of beef seems like going on with Jackson weak MMA as of lately. There seems to be like a little bit where Diego felt betrayed in a way, not just for his UFC career, but his overall health. He pretty much had to leave them.
This is a narrative we've been seeing.
Right.
Probably Shorty said the same thing.
I mean, look at Rashad Evans. He went to the Black Zillions famously back in 2011.
But that was quite a long time ago.
Right.
That's because they chose John Jones over there.
No, but I'm saying though, but Jackson MMA, great training camp, developed some great fighters along the way. Of course, you got John Jones, Holly Holm, George St. Pierre, GSP. Right. But I feel like Diego's going in to refresh. He's going there with a lot of emotion, Hall of Fame, and you know what? His book on his Create Fish. I'm going to give Diego Sanchez unanimous decision.
Okay.
By decision, not by finish.
How do you think he's going to withstand the ground attack of Chiesa? Chiesa, man, such a humble guy. And when you're on the ground with him, he's all long and lanky. And again, he's the Carlos Condit. You know, when you look at Michael Chiesa, man, he's just a tough dude. How do you feel like Diego's going to be able to maneuver?
I think just the only thing he's got street smarts. I mean, look at a guy, another example I'll bring up to you, Randy Couture. Remember when he debuted with UFC? I mean, he started out for heavyweight, eventually transitioned to light heavyweight. But I think he knows a lot of street smarts, a lot of stuff he can pull out. And plus, Diego Sanchez is not a bad striker. He can stand in there and stand. He's got just as much a legitimate wrestling background. I just feel like Diego's a little bit more on red alert when it comes to his opponents. So that's why I'll start with Diego.
Okay, well, I just think that Kies is going to be a little too much for him to handle, especially in the stretch. You know, if this fight's standing, I'll give it to Diego, but I know Kies is very confident. Not only his stand-up, but when this fight goes to the ground, it's really in Kies' ballpark, and I got Kies. So moving on, let's talk about the next fight, okay?
All right.
Okay, who do you have between Jan Blachowicz, Luke Rockhold? Luke Rockhold's moving up to 205. A move that people were surprised to see. They thought he'd go back to 185.
Right.
But it seems like he's really adapted to the weight class. We got to see how he looks inside the octagon. But he's a big dude, and I think 185 was a little bit too much for him. You know, the middleweight division is, has seen a lot of changes. 205 pound has seen a lot of changes. And you look right now, man, guess what? Chris Weidman's moving up to 205 pounds too. Yoel Romero is moving up to 205 pounds in the near future, probably after his next fight, Paulo Costa. So I'll tell you this, is that this is going to be a good move for these fighters. And listen, we need contenders for John Jones. He's eating. We need to feed him more. John Jones needs to be fed. And you know what? Closed mouths don't get fed, right? Well, guess what? John Jones needs to be fed more opponents, and Luke Rockhold will be the next guy up. If he can get a convincing win over Blachowicz, he's the next guy. They know there's some trash talk against them, words spoken between them. So I am going with Luke Rockhold this fight. Now, let's break it down. Jan Blachowicz, tough guy, but he lost to Thiago Santos, the number contender by knockout his last fight. He fought some really good guys in Gustafsson, Jimmy Manuwa, but he's just never really been able to climb up and get to that top tier. But Luke Rockhold is probably, one of the guys who think he just fought for the middleweight title against Yoel Romero. He's fought title fight after title fight. He hasn't had a non-title fight to really, prepare, right, to get the rust off. And the reason he hasn't been doing that is because he hasn't fought in such he's been kind of inconsistent. He's fought like once every year for the past couple of years. He fought once in 2018. We saw him fight in 2016. And we saw him fight once in 2017. We lost to Bisping. So, I'm going to tell you this. I've got Luke Rockhold.
I'm going to have to go the opposite way, and simple reason for this, because Luke Rockhold, the only thing that bothers me about him, I think he tends to look past his opponents too much. Right. Look what happened like 3 years ago. Speaking of which, former Hall of Famer, I'm surprised Michael Bisping didn't throw him under the bus. But and if you listen closely to Rockhold's interview with ESPN MMA, like online, he was even saying that he was having a hard time maintaining his weight from like a health standpoint.
Right.
And he also kind of bulked up a little bit. He's pretty much in the position right now where he's transitioning to moving up a weight class, light heavyweight. I just get a little concerned with a little bit of cockiness, I hate to say, when it comes to Luke Rockhold. So I have to go with, in this fight, give me Jan Blachowicz in this fight.
What from Jan do you feel like is going to be the difference?
I think Jan Blachowicz, I think it's going to be striking. I think that's the only thing with Luke Rockhold.
Luke Rockhold's a great striker, man. And when he gets those leg kicks connecting.
I understand that, but how many times have we seen before, like I said, Michael Bisping, where people were questioning that, how much like training on short notice, but he even admitted that he was trying to stick to a different game plan. He went away from what he did, and I just think with a guy with like Luke Rockhold, he tries to like change something that he's not, and guess what happens? He starts to lose focus. He's not like one key to his opponent. I that's one thing I do not like about Luke Rockhold. So I'm gonna have to go with Jan Blachowicz in that upset.
Okay.
I just feel like.
Well, look at Jan. His past 5 fights, he's done well. Besides to Alexander Gustafsson, Patrick Cummins. Then he went on a 4-fight win streak. In his last fight, he lost to Thiago Santos in the 3rd round. I think his tin has been tested. I think Luke Rockhold's a pressure fighter.
Right.
Because we haven't seen in 2018. And of course, we saw Jan Blachowicz fight this past February. I just think he's going to come in there and he's going to show everybody why he belongs in this weight division. And I just think him and John Jones is a compelling fight, and it needs to happen. So that's my opinion. And I got I respect Jan Blachowicz, so I am going with Luke Rockhold by unanimous decision in this one. He gets it done by unanimous decision. How about you? How are you getting Blachowicz in this victory?
I'm going to give Jan Blachowicz the victory. he's gonna probably get him like in a decision. I'm not gonna see him
Yeah, I
break a
think it's
submit
a
because
decision fight.
Luke Rocco can wrestle. He can also strike, like
Yes.
you said. But I think it's gonna be like Diego Sanchez, where it's not gonna be decided until in the judges,
Okay,
unfortunately.
so far we're split for both fights. I like this.
Yes.
Let's like this. So let's see if this continues down the road.
Hey, you know what they say about like another promotion with WWE when it comes to like WrestleMania? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's present to you our version of MMA Mania.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's what this is.
This is not WWE, but the keyword Mania, MMA Mania,
Right.
for tonight's event.
Well,
Glad to be here, by the way.
Okay, so let's go with one fight. We'll take a break and we'll give our prediction to the main event a little bit later. So let's go to the next one. Jorge Masvidal, Ben Askren.
Yes.
The way this fight's been promoted, I love it. The fans want to see this fight happen. They're clamoring for it. Everybody is into this fight. Listen, I'm so excited to see this fight go down. Everybody is. I think it's the most anticipated fight on this card. And just the fact that Ben Askren is undefeated. You know, he's never lost a fight. And Jorge Masvidal just presents a great challenge, but not a great challenge, but the trash talk, you know, everything that they've been going through, you know. I think Masvidal he's riding away from momentum. You know, he had a big win over Darren Till in his last fight. You know, but prior to that, he's been putting it together really well, and he's showing that he's at the top of the 170-pound division. And listen, the winner of this fight could possibly get a title shot. So this is such a compelling fight. This is the most, I think this is the most anticipated fight on tonight's card. It's because it's the most easy matchup. Right. It's the least predictable. So let me hear what you think about this fight.
I'm gonna have
just about the fight itself, not really who you're picking yet. Just from the personal standpoint of these two.
Well, let's look at the tail of the tape real quickly. Like as you just alluded to. I mean, Jorge right here, he's definitely got a bone to pick with Ben Askren. He's like one of the guys that's been calling him out phony because he seems like he's attacking them more like trash talking on social media versus in the face. Because he even said like a couple times, he's watching a couple of interviews, he said he tried to go up and like say what's up. And he's like a little bit firm right now. And to be honest with you, I mean, Ben Askren's only had like one fight in the UFC against Robbie Lawler.
Right.
A little bit controversial from some players who were like watching this. I mean, he did get a submission, a bulldog choke, but I still think the thing is, look, I understand, like, you know, you're talking about this guy's unbeaten guy right here, and Askren, but again, remember, like they used to say in WCW, welcome to this is where the big boys play. Yeah. He's in the UFC world right now.
But you look at Askren's record prior. He's a great fighter. You can't just say, oh, well, he was in the UFC,
no,
so he wasn't relevant.
No, we're not dismissing him, but like I said, though, when you go into another world and like an MMA promotion, like how UFC's been trying to push Fedor Emelianenko and for a lot of years, you go into somewhere like a Bellator, you really get like deemed a couple of times. You're still a great fighter, but again, you still have to prove yourself on our turf. That's all I'm saying. So in this fight, I'm gonna go opposite again of you once again. For this fight, for this one, I'm gonna go with George Masvidal.
You're going with Masvidal. Okay.
Masvidal. I'm gonna go second round knockout.
Really? Now, how do you feel Masvidal's going to do against the rest of Ben Askren? He's the guy that gets hold of you no matter where you're at. It's like he's got magnets in his fingers. He just gets a hold of you, takes you down, rinse, wash, repeat, right? So what makes you think that this is going to be any different? And that's what I'm saying is I think Masvidal has a chance to get a knockout quick, right?
Yeah.
But Ben Askren is so elusive. Right. And not only that, he's very... When he gets you down, he takes you down. He's just such an active fighter. He's always working you. He's like one of the toughest dudes, in my opinion, to ever step in the 170-pound division. You know, Coach Duke Rufus told me personally, you know, he said about Ben Askren, he's the kind of guy during practice, he might get a cut, a bruise, and he just puts tape on it and said, let's keep going. He has a toughness. Yeah, he doesn't have the best physique. You know, he doesn't have the, you know, he's got the dad bod going. But Ben Askren, you know, tried and true. He's been, since his professional debut in 2010, it's a tried and true method. He just takes opponents down, wears them down. And recently he's been getting some big finishes. Yeah. He's been getting knockouts prior to UFC. So you know what? I am going with funky Ben Askren. And you know how I see him winning? By submission. I think he's going to wear it down. The repeated takedowns are going to add up. And Masvidal, as much as I credit his success, you look, he had 2 losses prior. He had a tough guy in Damian Maia.
Yep.
Damian Maia, right? So Damian Maia to beat Ben Askren prior to this fight. Not Ben Askren. He beat Jorge Masvidal prior to this fight. So I just think if he couldn't beat Damian Maia, he lost by a split decision to Maia, right? I think Ben Askren's going to be a whole nother world. That was a jiu-jitsu guy. This is a class 1 wrestler guy. You know what I mean? Division 1A wrestler, and Askren is going to dominate with this wrestling. I don't see that any different in round